Welcome back, everyone. This is episode 236 of the Super Kelly Brothers podcast for the 28th of January 2024. My name's Sloan Kelly.
My name's Jody Kelly.
Does that intro get longer?
Aye, well, it's getting more numbers, isn't it?
It is.
200
Well, that's
nods,
true,
so
yeah.
so obviously it took a few milliseconds less because it was like number one.
That's right. Do you know most podcasts don't last longer than 10 episodes?
Yeah.
Like 99% of podcasts don't last longer than 10 episodes, and we've made it to 236.
I know.
We should get a prize.
Because we love it.
We do. It is good fun talking to you every week.
Oh, thanks.
About
I wish you could say the same thing.
Oh, okay.
No, I love it.
Trying our best here, folks.
Shame nobody else loves it, but we love it. You know.
So, by the way, sorry we're late, but I was let down by this small piece of device here.
Yeah.
Which was a cheap $5 Bluetooth extension thing. So I had to scramble and find a pair of headphones for the show, or else I can't.
Going old school.
Can't hear Jody. Well, you're wired in anyway.
I wired myself in. I don't bother with that wireless stuff. I'm going back. I'm going back to physical media. I'm going back to retro video games. You know, I'm going back the way. I'm the Benjamin Button of podcasts.
Are you going to start wearing those Sony headphones? You know, the ones with the sort of like the orange itchy foam.
Oh, the foamy ones, aye. Like Marty McFly or something.
That's the ones, yeah.
Yeah.
Those were awful, by the way.
I know, they were crap. In fact, you know what?
These are better.
James pulled out a Sony Walkman or something that he'd had from back in the day, with a cassette tape in it, and his daughter was dead chuffed to go check this out because she's right into Back to the Future just now. And she's like, check this out. And I put it on to listen to one of her songs, you know, not her songs, but a song that she'd put in the compilation tape. Oh my God, it sounded terrible. I was like, fuckingly bad. Like, unbelievably bad. Like, I was like, oh my God, that sounds terrible.
Do you know the thing is that cassettes didn't sound that bad? It's just the fact that the equipment is so old. Yeah, the reproduction of it is not good.
But you think that, and then, but you think that until you listen to new sound, sound the way it is now.
If you can listen to where it's like digital, DDDs they used to say in the CDs, digital recording, digital mastering, digital distribution, whatever it was.
So muddy.
DDD.
I don't want to go that far back.
No.
I'm talking physical media.
When are you rebuying a mini disc?
Oh man, do you know I love my mini disc player. I thought that was the best thing because you could record on it. It was absolutely brilliant.
Did you watch Tech Moon?
Did I watch what?
Tech Moon on YouTube.
No.
He's a YouTuber. No. He is mad keen on the mini disc. That's his that's his favorite thing. And every time he does an episode about the mini disc, I always think of you.
Aye. And do you know what?
You went up to Air and you bought you were at Dixon's or Clydesdale or whatever it was, and you came back and went, look.
It was brilliant. And the only reason I've got a PSP, Sony PSP, is because it's the mini disc UMD format. So,
was that right?
That's the wee mini discs, yeah. Before they went to cartridge and the PS Vita.
Yeah.
So I got that. I noticed as well in CEX because we were talking about OG Duffy last week. CEX here in the UK is stocking Vita, Sony Vita games again. Not seen Sony Vita games in the wild for a wee while, unless it's like a special, Comic-Con or one of these kind of type things.
I think they turned the servers off recently, didn't they?
I think but they still play. As in, you can't buy
Vita stuff. Yeah.
I mean, I'd prefer the physical anyway. I mean, I've got some digital games downloaded on it, but
like my favorite game was Lamasoft's TXK. That was a great game. It's basically Tempest.
Aye, but with camels, I'm assuming.
There was camels in it.
Flying camels.
Yeah. Lots of kind of psychedelic things that would kind of play havoc with you. But yeah, it was a great shooter.
Yeah. But
talking of shooters,
Just when we're talking kind of retro gaming, have you watched that Man vs. Snake yet?
No, I haven't. No, in fact, hold on.
It'll be on my. It's part of my watch list this week. Sloan kindly bought that for my birthday, and I've already watched it, which is shocking. I know. Anyway.
after all your bluster, you're nothing but a common watcher.
Do you know what?
I'm an exceptional watcher.
I have been. That has been my holy grail to get it. So yeah.
Did you enjoy? Well, we can talk about it later on.
Yeah,
in fact, stay tuned. We'll talk about it later on.
Yeah.
Because I have seen it. I saw it ages ago.
Of course, sorry, you've seen it ages ago.
Yeah.
You actually thought I'd told you about it, but I don't think I had.
I did. I'm pretty sure you had, but yes, I'm wrong. Shall we talk about the tea?
Yeah.
Bad news from the world of entertainment. Gary Graham, who was in Alien Nation, he played the human detective. He also played a Vulcan as well in Star Trek Enterprise. He died. He died.
I don't know this guy, but he looks like a member of Pink Floyd.
He looks like either a member of Pink Floyd,
Roger Waters, or something.
Looks like Roger Waters, early Roger Waters.
Yeah.
Or David Carradine, I would have said as well.
Yeah.
That kind of.
I don't know this guy at all, but you and James know who he is.
Yep.
But yeah, obviously, yeah. Sad news.
He's a obituary this week, unfortunately, for Gary Graham.
I never watched that Alien Nation. I don't think
it was
that
on
movie first.
It was on. Yes, it was Mandy Patinkin played George San Francisco, because they got all the aliens got these stupid Earth names, and James Caan played his character. In the movie.
I saw the movie.
Yeah, I watched this. I watched the show, and it was on for like a season, maybe even half a season. I'm not entirely. It might even be a mid-season replacement show. And then they did like one-off movies as well.
Was he the alien then?
No, he was the detective. He was James Caan's character.
Oh, I see. Right, in the so he was the TV series. He wasn't in the movie.
No, he wasn't in the movie. No.
Right. Okay. Right,
he was James Caan's character in the TV show.
Got you.
But yeah, he's been in other things as well. But most people know him from either Alien Nation or from Star Trek Enterprise, which is both a few years ago now.
Aye.
Admittedly. So.
Yeah.
It's always.
Yeah, I saw it. So it must have been obviously in sci-fi circles. He's a bit of a big deal.
Bit of a big deal.
Yeah.
I'm something of a big deal. I'm something of an actor myself.
Yeah. Poor old Gary.
I know, poor Gary. Not so poor Netflix. They've decided they're going to scrap a Halle Berry film. This is a bit Warner's discovery of them, isn't it?
Which has been complete as well.
Another completed movie which has been scrapped. Yeah. What's the? I mean, I know they do it for like tax reasons and things. That's what Warner Brothers Discovery cited their reason for Batgirl. But really, I mean, you finished the movie. Why not just release it? Like, why not just take the tax hit and release it and see if you can get more money out of it,
or sell it off to some other,
or sell it? Yeah, because I mean, we were going to talk about this on. We still are, which is on Thursday. We're going to talk about the DC stuff.
But, apologies for that. It was out with our control that we couldn't do it. So last week we were going to do it, but this week we're going to discuss it with James. Yeah. So Thursday, I think, isn't it? You said this Thursday. Yeah. We're going to discuss the DC.
We talked about continuing doing it ourselves, and I said, well, James is our DC expert. You're the DC apologist, and I'm eating paste in the corner. So, like, if it was just the two of us, it wouldn't be much of a story. However, though, my argument. By the way, we're talking about Halle Berry and Netflix. My argument about the DC universe is I haven't seen all the movies, which apparently is a lie, because I actually went back and looked at all the movies that I had seen, and I was missing 4, and 2 of them were this year.
Yeah, and you've watched them
and
now,
I've
haven't you?
rectified that. So I've
Yeah,
seen basically all of the DC movies.
So now you're the bloody expert.
So I'm the
I am
one
the
who
master.
watches.
Anyway, right, Halle Berry.
Yeah, Halle Berry. So poor Halle is. So this is like a COVID related thing as well, because there was a production that stopped and it started, and then it got delayed because of COVID and all this kind of stuff. There was like post production issues and a whole bunch of other problems, and now Netflix is like, you know what, you're not getting it. That's it. They've decided to cancel the movie, and it's gone. So maybe somebody else will pick it up.
Very strange. I mean, I don't know why. I mean, does it give a reason why? Especially when it's been completed. Do you remember that film with
No, it doesn't. It goes into what we just mentioned there.
Aye. Do you remember the film with Rey Skywalker? What do you call her again? Rey from Star Wars.
Daisy Ridley.
And Tom Holland.
Aye, that was made.
Yeah, it was, but that was cancelled and delayed, and they weren't going to release it, and it was sitting for about, I don't know, 4 years maybe, 3 or 4 years sitting without getting released. So I think they will eventually release this thing. If it's a quality issue, you'd have thought they wouldn't have bloody got it made.
Jodie, if it was a quality issue, we wouldn't have both seen Moonfall.
Christ. God. She was in that.
And she was in that as well. So was Michael Pena.
I'll tell you what.
Why was he in
it? A movie. Michael Pena is brilliant as well.
I know.
But I'll tell you a movie worse than that. Geostorm.
Sounds terrible.
It's like Team America bad. You know, it's like, as in, Team America is brilliant. It's like that kind of
brilliant, yeah.
Kind of cliched piss take, but they made it as a proper serious movie.
Oh, it's not tongue in cheek. It's like they were all out. Let's do this for.
It's for realsies. Yeah.
Are you sure it wasn't an Asylum Pictures movie?
Oh, I don't know. I'm not sure.
If it was, then tongue was firmly in cheek.
No, it's not. Honestly, it's awful. It's so bad. Such a bad film. It's funny because on the flip side of that, my son Jay, he's not really a big movie guy, so he watched it and enjoyed it because he didn't realise there was so many cliches in it because he's not really experienced that. So it's his, as far as he was concerned, it was a really captivating original movie. that's,
okay.
You know, so yeah. Basically, if you don't like movies or don't watch movies, watch that. You might enjoy it. But if you watch movies, geez, it's horrendous.
Geostorm. One to avoid.
Yep.
Yeah. So this article doesn't give any information as to why it was canned. It just goes over the story of what the plot was, which is basically feels a bit like the. Do you remember there's a Stephen King book called Tommyknockers? And it's about this woman that finds a spaceship buried in her back garden.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the movie.
Oh, that sounds good.
That does sound good. Exactly. Obviously, with Tommyknockers, there's like a weird aspect to it about getting inside people's heads and the typical kind of Stephen King thing. I don't know what this movie was about, but that's essentially the plot is.
Well, that was also the plot of that old couple. Remember
yeah, Night Sky.
The Night Sky, and Prime.
Yeah,
that was a bit like that as well.
Yeah, and we were getting another season of the Lord of the Rings thing, but we're not getting another season of them because it was too expensive, despite the fact they lost $1 billion on the
great show
Lord of the Rings thing that you watched 20 minutes of.
Oh, I think I watched maybe a couple of episodes and then tapped out.
You're done.
Yeah, maybe I should get back to it. I don't know, but I've not heard that great things about it, so I don't like to waste time watching stuff I'm not going to enjoy.
Well, exactly, yeah. Well, that's why I stopped watching The Kitchen.
What, Geostorm?
Oh,
really?
Yeah, it's bad.
Interesting.
Yeah. It's so slow.
Is that the one? That's the one you were talking about last week, wasn't it?
Yeah, I didn't finish it.
Aye, sorry. Yeah.
I'm like, you know what? I have other things to do. I'm not watching this.
And it's directed by somebody, an actor.
It is. It's oh god, who's it directed by?
Is it the lad from Get Out? Is it him?
Yes. It's not. It's no, it is. It is
Daniel.
Yes.
I can't remember his second name. It's quite hard to pronounce.
Kaluuya. Ian Wright's in it as well.
Aye, I've heard he's all right in it.
He's fine. He's actually one of the best bits of it. He plays the DJ in it, and apparently he's an like I've never. This happened when I moved to Canada that he became an actor after the whole.
No, it's the first thing I've known him to be in.
No,
to be honest with you.
Apparently he's been an actor for a while, according to his IMDb page.
All right, not prominently then.
Well, exactly, yeah. So I didn't know he could act. I always thought he was on like Match of the Day or something.
Yeah, he still is. He's
still
doing.
Oh, is he?
He's still doing football punditry. Yeah.
That's right. Because didn't he walk off with the whole Gary Glitter stuff? Not Gary Glitter.
Gary Glitter. Oh, crikey! No, the other Gary.
The other
Lineker.
Lineker. That's it. Gary Lineker.
What a faux pas! Aye. They are no way connected.
No.
Apart from their names, they're both Gary.
Yeah, anyway, Daniel Kaluuya. That's
Ian Wright walked off because of that, as did loads of
as did everybody. Apparently it was the best week because there was no commentary. It was just the games.
Yeah.
So anyhow, we're talking Netflix price hikes. They're coming. So they're getting rid of the free tier, and you have to have adverts. That's the gist of this headline. Is there's no more. There's no not ad free.
I feel like wait a minute. So we're even though we're paying for.
If you pay for the ultimate premium one, you don't get ads.
That's crap.
But if you pay for the bottom tier one, which didn't have ads, sorry, there's one that you paid like buttons for and you had ads with it. That tier's gone now. And then one up from that, the next tier up, that now has ads in it.
Right.
So,
I take it they're going to. I take it if you're on the kind of upper tier at the moment, then they're going to bump your price up. You know.
Yep, because you don't have ads. Because they want to eat their cake and have it too, as someone once said. Because they want the advertising money, and they also want the money from your subscription, which is basically how cable works.
I feel as if every week we say they're bumping the price up, though.
Well, I looked, and it was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Here's a little look into our stories here. Amazon Prime starts showing ads. There you go. That was from the 7th.
Yep.
So it was 3 weeks ago that we talked about the price hike.
So is this another price hike then, or
this is the Netflix price hike? Because the previous price hike was for Prime, because Prime's getting rid of their ad-free.
All right.
Sorry, they're getting rid of their paid-for. You basically have to pay extra to not get ads for Prime.
I don't know.
So remember when we used to cut the cord and we were all like, "Yeah, let's stick it to these cable companies." Well, the cable companies are long. The cable companies are dead. Long live the cable companies.
We've come full circle, basically. That's what you're saying.
Exactly. Right. Yeah, and that circle is a cable.
Oh dear.
They've just found a different way to deliver cable TV to us. That's all.
Aye, but like we were talking about a few weeks ago, I think what all these streaming companies have discovered is that streaming doesn't work. They need to go down a different route because they're not getting any more subscribers.
Nope.
So they're going to have to get money elsewhere. So whether it means releasing some movies in cinemas or price hikes or advertising, but it's not great for the customer, is it?
But there's no guarantee as well. Like if you release a movie in the cinema, there's no guarantee somebody's going to go and put their bum in the seat.
No.
Whereas if somebody is subscribing to you every week, they're most likely to watch your shows.
Well, I think it hurts a movie either way as well, because look at Disney with Pixar. People wait now for it to come out Disney Plus, and they don't go and see it. So those movies aren't getting any the same sort of traction that the older Pixar movies used to get when they were purely cinematic releases, and then on DVD, Blu-ray.
I mean, I've talked about this before about like most people watch their entertainment sitting on a tube train on their phone. Do you not think that, Jody? How did you watch Man versus Snake
on a laptop?
Okay, but that's my point though. Is they're not watching it on a big screen?
No, I know what you mean.
Like,
I know.
Is cinema and television and all these things like where people consume their media is changing, and I don't think these big companies realize that's happening.
Mm-hmm. I mean, people are still going to cinema. I mean, look at Warner Brothers though. They did the whole what was it, Justice? No, what one?
Justice League was straight to HBO.
They released it simultaneously in the cinema and in HBO. Guess what everybody did? They never went to cinema.
Justice League was straight to HBO. There was no cinematic release. Wonder Woman, on the other hand, though, that was a simultaneous theatrical and HBO release, and nobody went to the cinema for it.
No.
They just stayed at home and watched Wonder Woman in 1984 in the comfort of their living rooms.
Well, apart from me, I went to cinema to see it.
I watched it in my living room.
Yeah. I actually enjoyed the second one. I mean, I think it tried something different, by not doing the big battle that everybody, usually does. And maybe that didn't work, but
that's what ruined the first. There was some bad CGI in the first movie, and that's what was made it kind of a eh. And then the big CGI battle at the end made it just ugh.
Oh, the first one, I liked the first one.
But the first one was, that's what I'm saying, is that other than those two things, the first one was fine. I mean, you got to introduce the character somehow, and it was an okay origin story, so it's fine. Yeah. And then the second one, they were trying a bit too hard to be Marvel, I think.
They did.
I thought it worked well.
They did, and it also was the complete antithesis of the first one. It was the total opposite of the first one.
It reminded me
in that sense what you're talking
about. Dark World versus Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Like exactly 180 the whole thing. Like it was a lot brighter, and it was very different in tone to the previous movie.
Dark World gets a bad rap, but I like that. I think it's a good movie. But you're right; it's much more. Oh, it's called Dark World for any good reason.
Yeah.
But you're right. It's the Technicolor. It was like the Wizard of Oz, black and white into Technicolor, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Dark World to Ragnarok. Yeah,
to that. Yeah,
absolutely.
So yeah, they're hiking the prices up. There's nothing we can do about it.
Again,
yeah. Are you excited for you didn't watch the TV shows that were on Netflix, like Jessica Jones,
no, I didn't
Defenders, all that kind of stuff?
No.
No one watched Iron Fist.
No.
I'm telling you right now, no one watched it. It was a terrible idea, badly executed, and everyone involved should be very upset with themselves. But they're bringing back the gang. The whole gang's coming back for this Born Again reboot.
Okay.
So this is quite exciting. This means nothing to you, but they're bringing back Karen and Foggy are coming back. The Punisher's coming back. Jay Baruchel, who is a great actor, and he's done some fantastic roles. He was obviously the drug mule guy in The Wolf of Wall Street. He was in Fury and all those kind of things as well. So he's coming back. Vincent D'Onofrio, he's back as Kingpin.
I've got some issues with Vincent.
Really?
Yep.
Why?
Not normally. I'll come to it later.
Oh, did you watch Echo?
I finished it.
Did you finish Echo? Did you finish Killers of the Flower Moon?
Not yet. Next week, I promise. We just can't bring ourselves to watch it.
Really? Oh man. Okay.
We've got 2 hours to go on it, I think.
If you ever watch an interview with Vincent D'Onofrio, he talks about his time on Echo, and he says basically the same thing that Mark Hamill says, which is, I did what they told me to do with this character.
Well, all I'll say is I never thought I'd say this, but I feel as if he was phoning it in.
Oh, really?
We'll get to it later.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Behind the scenes with the old Superman.
Yes.
This is the picture. Where is it?
The Twitter picture.
Yep, there you go. That's it there.
Oh no,
so
that's not what I thought you were going to show me.
This is a James Gunn with the actress who's playing the engineer. Don't know who that is, because I know nothing about DC, which is why we need James. See?
Yep, we do.
So the engineer is a character
in the new Superman Legacy movie.
Yeah, and the old hover hand there. Noticed?
Oh yeah, no touching.
No touchy. The old hover hand.
I thought you were going to show the picture of whatever the guy's name is.
Yeah, good luck, cheeky chops. But this guy here.
Yeah, apparently he's too tall for all the actors that were up for the role of Superman. Wore Henry Cavill's suit.
Okay.
And did some lines in the suit, apart from him, because he didn't fit in it because he's too tall, apparently. So they had to give him a different Superman suit.
Okay.
What's his name? Corn Sweat or something?
Cornucopia. It says up here.
Jimmy Corn Sweat.
Jimmy.
And I don't care.
Jimmy Corn Sweat. Corn. Corson Wet. I don't know, dude. That's almost as bad as Armitage Shanks.
That is. David Corn Sweat. Jeez, I think he needs to change his name.
I think he needs to change his name.
It might be a wee bit late in his career, but just saying.
I didn't realize that Rachel Brosnan was playing Lois Lane. That's pretty interesting.
What was she in again?
Miss Maisel.
Yes, she's the main character, isn't she?
Yep. Aye. She started off her big screen type career in House of Cards.
Did she?
Yep.
Oh, I didn't know that. She'll be good, actually. I think bit of she'll be feisty, hopefully, and stuff.
Yep.
Hopefully, she'll be a kind of strong female character because we're lacking those these days.
Yep.
That was a joke.
Nathan Fillion's in it as well. He plays a different character to what he played in, because he played TDK in Suicide Squad.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, and so yeah.
Yeah, I think they start filming in March for this Superman Legacy movie, so we'll probably not see it till 2025.
Yeah, this is just random pictures of people in previous roles. This isn't behind the scenes.
Yeah, I mean, he looks good. I think that dude, this Corn Sweat chap.
Yep.
So I'm looking for. Listen, I'm just hoping. I think if you scroll down, you see that see that artwork by Frank Quietly. I hope it's going to be sort of that sort of colour. I want to see like a colourful Marvel type thing, but different. Not exactly like Marvel. I want it to be their own thing, obviously, but I'd like to see like a Superman the way the original was. I don't want to see all this. Why does everything have to be all dark and
That was Zack Snyder's take on it. Was going to be a darker version of?
I know, but everything's dark these days. It started off with Tim Burton doing his gothic version of Batman, and then ever since then, everybody seems to want it to be all dark and gritty.
I know, but that's the thing. It was called Gotham. It was a fairly obvious.
No, that was fine. No. I'm not saying Tim Burton, but I'm saying ever since then, everybody's copied that, and it doesn't need to be, Not. It doesn't all need to be dark and gritty. You know.
I think. I mean, the way that the Marvel universe has gone is like all their sort of spacey type stuff is all very colourful.
Oh yeah.
Which I think really works. Which is why Thor is more like that way, because he's been kind of like put in the spacey side of things.
Yeah.
Whereas the Earth stuff is much, I wouldn't say more muted, but it's not as bright as the space stuff, because the space stuff is very, very shiny. I don't mind. I watched. I will get to what I watched, which is Dawn of Justice and the Justice League.
Ooh,
and my thoughts about it. I didn't know that this was going to be a TV show, but apparently the Terminal List is going to be a TV show on Prime Video.
The Terminal List? What's that again?
Do you remember it was Chris Pratt. He plays a Marine guy that has to go back in time or forward in time or something like that. I can't remember. But his daughter's there and she's a scientist.
Oh yeah.
And there's this alien invasion.
I do remember.
And stuff.
The Tomorrow War. Tomorrow War.
That's the one. Yeah. So anyway, so the guy from the Umbrella Academy, Tom Hopper, he's been drafted as one. Yeah, he's a big ape guy. He's been drafted to play a character in this.
So this is a prequel to the movie?
Yeah. I think it's 5 years before the events of the first movie.
Might be okay. I enjoyed that film, that Tomorrow War.
I didn't.
Because Adam Sandler wasn't in it.
Exactly.
We've been looking at a few Adam Sandler movies and going, that was pretty good, you know.
Bet you have.
Yeah, we're all secret Adam Sandler fans.
Yeah, I know you are.
We're all friends together.
That's right. Anyways, that's happening anyway. And then talking of Superman, Christopher Reeve documentary.
Oh, that'll be good.
Super/Man.
Wow.
Warner Brothers Discovery bought it for $15 million after the Sundance premiere.
Makes sense. Makes sense for Warner to do it.
It does make sense, yeah.
Yep.
So this looks. So it's all about the life of Christopher Reeve, who was the original and best Superman. I know people talk about George Reeves, but
for God's sake,
it was so long ago.
I'll tell you who was the best Superman.
Chris Reeve,
pre Christopher Reeves, the bloody animated one. That was cracking.
Never watched it.
Oh, it was brilliant. It was like real. The animation was top notch, and it was like done in the 50s or something. It was like, crazy good. That's what it is. But yeah, Christopher Reeves, he's the best.
Christopher Reeve. It's George Reeves.
You say Reeves, I say Reeve.
No.
Oh, wait a minute.
I say Reeve.
You say potato, I say patata.
Anyway, so that's going to Warner Brothers. They're obviously going to put it on Max at some point, my guess is.
Yep.
So
that'll be good. I mean, what a life! He just looked the part, didn't he? I think he was quite skinny when he first auditioned for Superman, and he had to bulk up proper.
Yeah, because they were talking about getting like padding for the suit.
Yeah, that's right.
And so they went away and put padding in the suit, and then he came back and he was like jacked.
He went away and he got built. Yeah. Yeah.
Also, a Richard Donner film.
Oh, man, yes, and both of those first two movies are perfect.
Well, they were, and they've been restored that way, but they weren't originally that way because Salkind and Donner didn't see eye to eye.
No,
and Donner's still like, I know he's died obviously a while
years
back.
Ago,
but, Donner's still kicking around the old DC. His legacy's still there because I'm sure his daughter or something is one of the exec producers on a couple of DC movies. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he made some cracking films, and I mean, these two. He made Superman 1 and 2 back to back, and then obviously Christopher Reeves was involved, and it was a horseback accident that he was thrown from his horse or something.
His horse, yeah,
paralyzed because there was a a sort of curse on that role, wasn't there? The original George Reeves, he died young. Christopher Reeve was paralysed.
Mm-hmm.
The other guy, Brandon Routh, never worked again. Henry Cavill's doing all right.
So far.
We're praying for you, Henry. We're praying for you.
He's in Argyle. That's the next one.
Yes, yeah, he looks great. People are. Did you see the pictures of him in Argyle? People are like comparing him to like Simon Cowell and stuff. His hairstyle.
No.
He looks like Billy Idol and Simon Cowell and stuff, because he's got that kind of very
very sticky
high hair.
Yeah,
high hair.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Looks good, that film. That's our next cinema watch, I think. Argyle.
Last time Barbie. That was the last time I was at the cinema.
Did you hear the rumours about? Have we ever spoke about this? It was you that said about this. The rumours about Argyle was actually written by J.K. Rowling.
Yeah,
I don't think we spoke about this in the podcast.
I don't know if we have.
No. So what was the rumour? The fact that she wrote.
The rumor is apparently her and Guy Ritchie were talking for some reason together, and one of them suggested, "Wouldn't it be really cool if it was like a secret? It was an author writing about a super spy, but then the book started to become real, something like that." And the other one went, "Oh, that's a brilliant idea." And someone did a treatment of the script, and the rumor is it's J.K. Rowling that did it.
Yeah. We have a comment. We have a comment.
Oh.
Lauren Explorer, big fan of their channel. Henry is now cast as Connor in the Highlander reboot. That's correct.
That's right. Yeah, there could be only one, but apparently there's now another one.
Yep. Christopher Lambert. I wonder if he might appear. He's still going, isn't he, Chris Lambert?
I think so. Yeah, Christophe Lambert.
He might come in. In a wee kind of a wee cameo. Maybe.
Yeah. The first guy he kills.
Yep, it could be. Imagine he fights himself. Yeah. Superman style.
Does he need to fight himself? Like in Superman 3?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
So that Argyle movie, and then there's obviously she's allegedly written it. But wait a minute here, though. You're saying though that she wrote it under another name, and then gave it to a studio to develop. Is that right?
I don't know.
I don't know if this story holds water actually, because it's written by.
It says it's written by someone called Ellie Conway, and
yes,
but other things say it's written by Tammy Cohen.
But the script's not written by Jonathan Ross's wife that writes all the Matthew Vaughn stuff.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, Jane Whitfield.
Jane
Goodman.
Godley.
Goodall. No, Jane Goodall. Why can't we do anything right?
Jane Goodall? What the hell are you talking about?
It's not Jane Goodall. Jane Goodall was the gorilla woman.
What she was? What, Gorillas in the Mist?
There's Jane Goodall there.
Is she not the one with the lines?
No.
Born Free?
No.
Oh, for God's sake.
No, that was God, what was her name? Born Free until somebody caught me.
Oh no, you're right. You're right enough. I remember her now.
I was just going to look up Kingsman and then it'll tell me.
Yeah. Alistair's just saying Ramirez is a hard one to cast, though. I don't know that character.
Jane Goldman.
Goldman, that's it. That's her.
That's her.
Yep. Yeah. So she writes all the stuff for Matthew Vaughn, I think.
Did she know? I was going to say she also wrote Stardust, which is also Matthew Vaughn.
I think that was her.
There you go.
That wasn't just. I don't think she developed that. I think that was her complete idea. Stardust.
Neil Gaiman.
Is that Neil Gaiman? Oh, sorry. Yeah. All right. Okay. Sorry.
Yeah, I think it's Neil Gaiman. I think he wrote the story and then she wrote the script.
All right. Okay. Yeah.
I think she acts as like a script doctor as well for other productions, but she does mostly her own scripts.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, she's done a fair few.
She's done a lot of great stuff. Yeah. So.
And in that case, she's got a producer role there, but producer for that just means she went in and wrote some stuff.
Yeah, I mean, Argyle looks great. I think it's out. Yep. Is it out in February? March?
March, I think.
Is it March?
Is it 2 L's?
Is it what?
Argyle's got 2 L's.
Does it?
Yeah, it does. February 2nd, Universal Pictures and Apple Original Films. So it's going to be getting released on Apple TV Plus at some point.
So they're doing a Killer of the Flower Moon type thing. At least it's going to get a decent run at the cinema, though. I mean, I had a half decent run at the cinema. Killers of the Flower Moon.
It did, yeah.
You know, helps it greatly.
Yep.
Bigly, as Donald Trump would say.
Huge.
Huge numbers.
It's one of the funniest movies of all time. I've just realised that my Donald Trump impersonation goes into Johnny Watson doing Dennis Law.
A wee bit, yeah. Jonathan Watson, yeah. Johnny Watson was boy at school. Lad at school.
Let's talk. So this is another spaceship movie thing. Something bad happens, and she goes back down to Earth, and it's a.
Oh, is it Remy Nuna? What do you call it?
Remy
Nuni Ruma. Rene, what's her name? Remy Nunu. What's her name?
I don't know now.
She's in Prometheus anyway.
Numi Rapace.
That's her. See, I was close.
Anyway, so this is a bit like that. There was a Halle Berry TV show that was a bit like this, where she went into space and then she started seeing things on Earth.
I like that one. Thanks.
Ruminuni one. Anyway, so she goes, who are you talking to, Mum? She goes, like, me.
So this is like a horror thing.
Sure, yeah.
So she brings something back from space then?
Something like that, yeah.
Okay. Okay, that sounds good.
Jonathan, he's in it as well, Jonathan Banks. From
Big Bad.
Well, I was going to say Beverly Hills Cop, but yeah, sure.
Okay. You're going way back.
He's the guy that calls him Cuz all the time. Beverly Hills Cop. Yeah, looks good. Let's stop it there before we get shouted at.
I know.
This is the Bad Batch.
Oh, yeah. This is
the season finale. By the way, don't watch this if you haven't seen season 2 because it contains spoilers for season 2. Okay. Yeah.
That's good, by the way.
It looks amazing. Yeah.
Wow.
You'd be mistaken for live action. Some of the
long
shows.
I know. Yeah, that's cool. Because I think we saw a poster for this earlier on in the week, didn't we? And we're like, "Is this real?" And then they've released this. This trailer. Since then. Yeah. It's cool.
So yeah. That's coming out soon. There's your favourite character all time ever. Omega. Dr. Hemlock's back as well, played by Jimmy Smits. Jimmy Smits.
Jimmy Smits?
Jimmy Smits. Jimmy, God, what's his name? He was in Westworld. That doesn't matter. He's gone now. Palpy's back as well, played by Ian McDermott.
Excellent. Brilliant.
So yeah,
this could be a real cracker actually. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. The second season was amazing. It's really good.
Yeah.
And then this is just pure enjoyment written all over it. So this is Dev Patel has written and directed this, and he's also clearly in this as well.
Mm-hmm.
And it's about this.
Oh man, this looks cool. Yeah.
This guy who's revenge. It's an Indian John Wick by the looks of it. But there's some kind of like supernatural type thing because it keeps on talking about the Monkey Man, which is this fictional or something anyway. So it's also produced by Jordan Peele.
Aye. Now there's a poster for that. Have you seen the poster for this? I don't know if it's a fan made one or what, but the poster for it is brilliant. It's fantastic.
Let me just look for it.
I mean, the trailer makes it look great as well. It looks brilliant. You got the poster? It was like, I don't know if it was a fan. That can't be a fan made one because nobody's a fan of it yet. So
you describe it?
Real. It's like kind of him like looking like John Wick in the main kind of standing, and then in the background there's like it's like a kind of collage type of all the other characters in the. Looks like an old school movie poster. Looks great.
Oh no.
Anyway, yeah, I'm up for this one. Looks great.
Yeah, looks good.
Fab.
I was kind of zooming through these because I don't want.
Well, I was going to say
copyright strikes.
Under the hour.
So this is Netflix's adaptation of The Last Airbender. They tried doing The Last Airbender live action with M. Night Shyamalan.
Yep.
Didn't quite take, and so they cancelled the whole thing. So this is Netflix doing a TV show based on it. Gotta say, looks pretty good.
Does look good.
It does. Like, comparing the cartoon to it, it looks pretty good. The brothers got the right level of sarcasm, and also eating all the time. I seem to remember that was a thing. So they've got some, and he looks good as well. The main character, Aang. Aang.
Yeah, I mean they've done a few of these now. They kind of
recognize him.
Is it our man from?
Our man from Mando. Yep.
Yeah. Always good. Yeah, I'm getting. I don't know. It does look good, but they've done a lot of these before. They've kind of Cowboy Bebop and what was the last one that they did? The kind of pirate kind of one.
Oh yeah,
I remember that
one you mean. Yeah,
it was okay. I started watching it. It was okay. I'm getting that kind of vibe off this. But it looks pretty epic, though.
It does.
It's kind of quite cinematic.
Yep.
Nice.
And I'm going to stop it there so that we don't get shouted at by things. And that's it. That's all we got for the news and so on. Shall we talk about what you've been watching?
Yeah.
What have you been watching?
Finally finished Echo.
Yep.
And yeah. What why? What was the point?
Do you know? I've been dying to say this to you for 4 weeks now. I liked the show right up to the last episode, and I was like, really, magic?
When they all the family got to spoilers, all the family got together. I was like, come on, man.
Like, could you like? Okay, they could have. Why couldn't she just be a really good martial artist, combat-y type person?
Yeah.
Why did she have to like have like the iron fist, glowy fist things?
Well, they'd kind of been building up to that.
You can still have the whole,
the ancestors
imbuing you with power and all that kind of stuff, and that could still be a thing. But it doesn't like you don't need glowy hands to do that. Is what I'm trying. It doesn't need to be a magic thing. It could just be it's not just institutional knowledge. It's like imbued in her this ability to fight for what she believes in. I don't know.
For me, that wasn't the
cop out.
For me, that wasn't the thing. It was just very trudgy, very quite dull, quite good action sequences sometimes, quite bad ones other times. Vincent D'Onofrio, Jesus, I don't know what was going on with him in that. That is the worst performance I've ever seen him do in my life. I'm a big fan.
The worst bit was when she goes to his hotel room.
One-dimensional, his performance. I thought it was terrible.
Yeah. Again, it's one of these ones where they rushed it through and it suffered from rewrites and budget cuts and all that kind of stuff, and basically just studio interference as usual. And it's like you can't, like, could you imagine someone turning up to William Shakespeare and going like, yeah, that third act sucks, can you add some more trucks?
I know, exactly.
You know, it's like just let it breathe a wee bit and then see what happens.
The train sequence was good. I thought that was a good sequence. But
yeah, somebody complained about that.
Oh, really?
It's the worst complaint ever. Somebody said, you'd think somebody would have heard that drill, wouldn't you? Nobody was in the carriage.
I don't know why folk pick up on stupid shit like that, but anyway.
If you're going to complain about stuff that makes sense to complain about, that's okay, but don't complain about that because it's like, oh, you don't like the characters or whatever. Oh, this is stupid as well. No, there's nobody there.
Right, well, I'll tell you what as well. It was 5 episodes, and it was
5 episodes.
Longer.
It was supposed to be 6, and they cut one.
God help us all if it had been longer, by the way. It would have been awful. It would have been horrifically bad. Thank God they cut it to 5 episodes.
I thought it was okay. I think they could honestly have done it in 4. To be honest,
they got away with it. They could have done it in 4. That's what I was thinking when I was watching it. We've started watching Trust. Have you started watching that? It's a sort of Trust. It's a kind of reality show where there's a group of like 10 people or something, 14 people, something like that.
They all have to fall backwards.
No, they can
at the same time.
They can either share the money or decide to, vote folk out.
Oh yeah. Okay. And if you go the wrong way, then do you know that's an icebreaker team building exercise type thing that people do.
So either form alliances or you don't. So I'm not that into it, to be honest with you. Everyone seems to like it, but Beef. I finally started watching Beef. I'm on episode 4. Really good so far. I've heard big things about it, so I'm rooting for it, and so far so good. Really enjoying it. What else? Finished Traitors there. That finished. This season finished. It was absolutely terrific television. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant TV. I don't know where you can get it over.
It's on Crave here. I actually started watching the first episode. I got as far as.
Was it season 1?
No, season 2. I started watching because
season 2 is great.
Season 1.
Season 1's great too, but
I got as far as they went in and went, oh, really? I was excited to see Claudia Winkleman, but I'm more excited to see the castle. And that's as far as I got because I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah. No, it's great. You keep watching it. We watched Interstellar.
Oh, aye.
It's
a wee movie by Chris Nolan.
Small, low budget movie.
Low budget,
Chris Nolan. So, I mean, I've seen it before a few times, but it hits me like a ton of bricks every time. It's great, man. Mm-hmm. Many times gets me in the feels. Many times, and Danny'd never seen it before, so the moment, the bookcase moment really blew him away. I like to watch a film when there's going to be a big moment.
You're just sitting watching Danny like this?
Pretty much, sometimes, Did
you get it?
And then we watched, I know we're late to this party and this as well, They Cloned Tyrone.
Oh my God. Who had 17 weeks?
When did that come out? Was it last year?
May last year, because I watched it when
was it May?
It was. I watched it in vacation on the train.
Right. Okay. Really enjoyed it. Everybody's brilliant.
It's a great movie. Yeah,
everybody's great in it. It's kind of hard because it's all kind of that kind of jive, kind of the way they talk and stuff. It's kind of hard to kind of.
Tiana Paris is brilliant in it. Jamie Foxx is brilliant in it. John Boyega is brilliant in it.
Foxx is off the scale. All the three of them are brilliant in it.
Do you know? And this isn't a spoiler, but the bit where, so John Boyega's character gets shot within the first 2 minutes of the movie, and he dies. He bleeds out on the street, and he's in his car, but he bleeds out, and then 2 minutes later he wakes up. And you're going, what the heck is this movie?
Yeah.
And it's brilliant. And it just goes completely crazy. Do you know what it is? It's old school John Carpenter.
That is actually, you're right.
It's just like 100% John Carpenter. If John Carpenter made this movie back in the day, Keith David would have been Jamie Foxx.
Yeah.
Or Jamie Foxx's character would have been Keith David.
Yeah. Can we have a small break?
Oh my God. Sure.
2 seconds.
You were saying?
Oh, I'd left the kettle on there, sorry. I think that's everything that we've watched this week. I think, but I might think of something else while you talk.
Okay. I watched, so I'll get to the big ones in just a sec, but I went through this week and I was watching biopics. So I watched I, Tonya.
Brilliant.
Legend. That's the Grey twins with Tom
Hardy.
And The Wolf of Wall Street. In order, Wolf of Wall Street, I, Tonya, and Legend. Legend's not.
I know. I was a little bit disappointed. Tom Hardy though. I'd
brilliant. He was fantastic.
He's so watchable, Tom Hardy.
And he's so different. Like, just you can tell like who's Reggie and who's Ronnie, and he's brilliant. And her that plays dead wife, Emily. Not Emily, is it? Emily Browning. Emily Browning.
I don't know.
She's brilliant as well. She plays Frances, and she's fantastic in the role. She's the narrator through the whole thing. She's really I, Tonya is great. It's funny.
It's brilliant.
It's
absolutely brilliant.
It's got horrible bits in it. Obviously, there's like Sebastian Stan plays a right nasty piece of work in it. But the guy from Jewel, I can never remember his name. He's in it, and he's just
the main dude.
He plays Sean, the bodyguard, who's this blowhard. Richard Jewell. And he's so good in it. He's just brilliant. And then Wolf of Wall Street obviously is Martin Scorsese, Leonardo DiCaprio. How can you go wrong?
It's prime Scorsese. Prime Scorsese.
It is, yeah, it's great. But the two big movies I watched this week, because I was going through, do I have the sheet thing up here? Let me go through here. Okay, I've got my DCEU notes. So I was going through the list of movies that I hadn't seen in the DCEU, and it was Batman versus Superman: Dawn of Justice, Justice League, Zack Snyder's Justice League, Blue Beetle, and Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. That's the only movies I haven't seen. So I still haven't seen Justice League.
You don't need to if you've seen the
exactly, because I've seen the Spider one, the Snyder one.
In fact, I wouldn't even bother. going to see. I really wouldn't.
So basically, I watched both of them. I watched Dawn of Justice and I watched the Justice League.
Uh-huh.
I have to say, I found them very, very entertaining.
Yep. Yeah.
I got no problem with them. I thought Ben Affleck was really good as Batman as well.
He's a brilliant Batman.
I was kind of disappointed the fact that he couldn't quite get the solo Batman movie off the blocks, but
well, that's going to be a subject we're going to discuss on Thursday. Actually,
stay tuned.
Maybe
exactly.
how it should have.
How it should have fallen.
Yeah.
But
I me and James went to see when it came out, Batman Superman, and I walked out of it going, I don't know if I liked that. And he loved it.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't get it. But there was bits of it I liked, and then I bought it in Blu-ray and then watched it again and was like, what the hell was I thinking? It was it's a great film.
It's a great film.
Really, really good. Really good.
And what really confused me though was the flashbacks, and I didn't realize that Zack was setting up his Justice League trilogy, because it's not flashbacks, flash forwards. Because basically Bruce keeps having these nightmares of this post-apocalyptic hellscape.
Yep.
And he does it twice. He does it in the two movies. He does it twice. So he does it at the end of Dawn of Justice. He has this thing where Superman comes in, laser beams the two guys that he's with.
Yeah.
And then he's a bad guy, but there's like these Superman core type things, which apparently is like a callback to something. I don't know. Again, not a DC person. Super enjoyable. Loved every second of it. I thought Jeremy Irons was a great cast as well as Arthur, as Alfred.
Albert. Right? What?
I'm tired. And Wonder Woman was in it as well. Like, it was there was just a lot of stuff that was going on there.
Superman?
And by the way,
Superman's
Superman's in it because it's Batman versus Superman. It's one of the titular characters, Jody. I'm the one that's tired, no you.
Sorry.
But one of the things I really like, and it's the same thing with Justice League, is how amazing is Wonder Woman's theme.
Yeah.
I just wanted her to come on the screen so I could hear the theme again.
Yeah.
It's such a great theme. Anyway.
Yeah, it's really good. And do you know, it's a brilliant concept, the fact that why they don't like each other as well.
Yeah.
All the destruction that happened at the beginning of the movie, which is the end of Man versus Man of Steel. So
yes, exactly.
It picks up from the end of that movie, and Zack Snyder, all those flashbacks you're talking about, they all pay off later on as well, including that there's a Flash vision.
There's a bit where he breaks
into
because he's been having these kind of like nightmares, and then he wakes up from the nightmare just as the Flash comes and goes, "Lois is the key," and then kind of like gets pulled back into it.
And it's that callback is in,
and it's later on, yeah.
It's
So they should have let him just have the Snyder verse or whatever it's called. They should have just let him do these other two Justice League movies.
Yeah,
but they didn't want them to. They didn't want it to be too dark, because it does get very dark, apocalyptic towards the end. But
it does.
Anyway, and I watched Dawn of Justice. There was two choices on Crave. There was Dawn of Justice and there was Dawn of Justice Grey Edition. And I thought,
Justice League,
sorry, Grey Edition. And there's the both the Snyder cuts. And I'm like, should I watch the colored one or should I watch the black and white one? So I went all in. I went black and white. That movie.
Oh, you watched it in black and white as well?
I watched it in black and white
cool.
Because I thought, okay, which I didn't get, because I watched Screen Crush's thing at the end of it, because there was a couple of things I don't really quite understand. There was an end that I didn't quite understand, but I didn't get the fact that in the original theatrical 2017 release of Justice League, Superman fights in his blue and red uniform, his blue and red suit, and in the Schneider cut, he fights in his black suit.
Yes, that's right.
I didn't get that because I watched it in black and white.
Aye.
So they all look black and white to me.
Yeah,
Look the same color to me.
Yeah.
I thought it worked really well in black and white. It felt more cartoony. It felt like it was ripped from the pages of the comic book. It felt like the blacks felt inky black, not that kind of like muted BS smear that you get. If you're going to watch the Justice League, I suggest you watch the black and white version of it because it is fantastic. It's so good.
When they do the black and white stuff, they grade the film so that because when it's filmed in color, not every things would pop out differently.
Yes, yeah, they regraded it. Yeah, exactly. So every scene gets tweaked and sort of like enhanced and all that kind of stuff. There's a bit in it where, like for example, Lois, she's gone up to the gravesite, which by the way, little Jimmy Olsen plays the cop.
Yes,
the original
which is brilliant.
The original Spider, the Superman.
Yeah.
So she hands a coffee over to him. And she goes up to the umbrella, and there's like a top-down shot, and it looks like a comic book. Like it looks black ink for the umbrella, and it's this. You can see the rain and all this. It's amazing.
We're talking about when we say that Zack Snyder. Nobody films comic book movies like Zack Snyder does.
No. And by the way,
and you were talking about the slow motion stuff.
So yeah, I was just going to say the slow motion stuff. So my biggest complaint about Rebel Moon and how you could have got it down to an hour and a half was if you just took out the slow motion because it was pointless. Like it was just like, "Hey Jody, how are you doing?" kind of stuff. It was like, "I'm making a cup of tea." I did not think to myself at any point during both of those movies that the slow mo was out of hand.
Because it makes sense.
Because it's a comic book, and you got to do that kind of like Superman like throws off his cape or like throws back his cape, and it does the kind of slow motion type thing of the cape because it's a comic book. Yeah. It doesn't make sense for space adventure.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
Like
you're right.
The bit where he's fighting with a griffin or whatever it is, he's like the John Carter guy's fighting with a griffin, and it's like slow motion, and you think to yourself, "Well, this is just painful. This slow motion." Then it gets slower, and you're like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, but it completely makes sense for a superhero because the speed they're probably fighting, and just to make the kind of impact of everything, make it more impactful, the slow motion.
I thought as well that the just getting kind of bogged down in the story a wee bit. Steppenwolf, his reason for being in the world was well fleshed out.
Yep.
He's basically trying to curry favor from Darkseid.
Yep.
And he's having a hard time proving himself. He's obviously, this is like his last kind of, it's
because you think he's the big bad. Well, spoilers. You think he's the big bad. There's always a bigger fish.
Always a bigger fish. Exactly. Yeah. I loved it. I thought they were both great movies. But I think there wasn't much interference studio wise in Dawn of Justice, and there wasn't in the Snyder cut as well, because obviously he handled all the reshoots and all that kind of stuff, which explains why the movies are very long. And that was one of the reasons why the studio didn't like Snyder, was because they want to have the exhibition time of the movie has to be a certain amount so they can fit more showings in a day, so that they can make more money. And of course, if you've got a 4-hour-long movie, you've only got 4 slots, maybe. In a day. Whereas if you've got a 2-hour movie, that's 16 slots.
I'm kind of still amazed that he got to make it. Are you? In a way, because the Justice League movie didn't do that great. It was
well, yeah.
But he was like allowed to, because he had to spend millions, because there was no footage that was lying about that needed finished. It was, he had to reshoot things with stuff, Ben Affleck, and
it was like 25 million or something he spent on reshoots. But I think the reason why they gave it is because they weren't doing a theatrical release for it. It was just going straight to HBO Max.
Oh, of course,
and so it was cheap for them. They didn't have any distribution stuff, or
they're just spending the money on it. I thought, do you know what it was?
I think it crashed the servers.
Aye,
Worldwide, all the servers went down.
You've hit the nail on the head, though. I think because it was the launch of HBO Max, or Max as it's now called, I think.
Max,
they had to have something, a big
splashy thing, yeah.
That was going to kind of everybody's wanting to watch. So that fitted it. That fitted the bill.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice one.
Yeah. And then continue watching Welcome to Wrexham season 2, and I watched South Park joining the Pandaverse. They're still very funny, aren't they?
I know, aren't they? Aye. Well, we watched that, and we watched the Prime one.
Oh, okay.
It's not called. It's good. It's good as well.
Right.
It's worth watching.
The last South Park episode I watched was Make Love Not Warcraft, which I think is 15 years ago.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. I should watch more. If you've got Paramount, you should watch it because it's great. No.
All right. But yeah. Anyway, that's all we got for you this week. Join us this Thursday. We will be talking with our friend James about DC and the state of the DCU, as it's called now. It used to be called the DCEU.
Well, it'll be the state of the where it's been and where it's going.
Well, the DCEU's dead. It's the DCU now.
I know, but we're talking about all the movies that have
been
the complete set of DCEU.
Yeah,
and then where it's going. Yeah.
So if you want to see that, then don't forget to subscribe to us and hit the notification bell, and you get time to remind us when we put something up. So this Thursday at 10 p.m. UK time is when we are going to be discussing that. And if you like this video, don't forget to hit the old like button and share as well on social media, because it really does help the channel. And we appreciate every single one of you who's being here live and interacting with us. And
thank you.
Thank you very much. And we will catch you guys in the next episode. So until then, bye.
Bye.